Elturel, the city of light, the bright star in Eltugard and its capital. It sits high atop a cliff dominating the river Chionthar. Even now in the waning afternoon, a bright light can be seen, bathing the city in its glow. What is this magic? A huge stone bridge stretches over the causeway to the main gates, magnificent in its splendor. Lord Eberron stops short of the gates with his knights. This is where our company parts ways. I wish you good luck on your journey. Vimark thanks the Lord for the escort to the city and bids him farewell. The city's huge doors swing open and 4 guards step out, allowing the Lord and his knights in. These travelers seek Leosin. Let them pass. The guards give a quick salute to the Lord and the group are ushered inside. The bright light overhead illuminates the city in daylight. It is fast approaching dusk, yet from inside the city walls, it seems like midday. The city seems spotless. No rubbish or even visible dirt are on the roads inside. Most of the walls are painted white, which seems to reflect the light above even more. The houses that line the road have heavy black curtains in the bedroom windows, yet a feeling of hospitality exudes from all around. As the group follow the road, they come to a large clearing. A great marketplace stands here. Most of the stalls are closed or closing when the party arrives at its center. Vimark and Helia, who both call this city home, leads the group to the inn called A Pair of Black Antlers, which sits on the northeastern side of the market circle. Vimark tells the group he will take the horse and cart to the stables and keep an eye on the unconscious Gunny and await further instructions. The group enters the inn and asks for Leosin. The barmaid behind the bar frowns and tries to recall the name. "Ah, the monk who works with Lord Froom," she exclaims. "He is not here right now, but I shall let him know that you were looking for him when he comes by next. He has a room here at the inn." The group eats and settles in for the long wait. Alistair and the barmaid called Penny flirt with one another incessantly. A few hours later, Penny tells the group Leosin has entered the back room and wishes to speak with the party. As the group enters, they are met by a burly, red-headed and red-bearded man who introduces himself as Lord Froom. Both he and Leosin sit across from a large table and urge the group to sit and join them for some drinks. Leosin does not hobble. In fact, it does not look like he has lost a leg at all. Seeing the party focus on his leg, Leosin lets them know Elturel has some great healers, who with the aid of their gods regrew Leosin's leg in just a few days. Astounding. The party tells Froom and Leosin of their adventure, of the hatchery and the deaths incurred. Leosin's head sinks into his hands upon hearing the death of his colleague Shin at the hands of the Drakes. A tragic loss, he says, wiping a tear from his eye. Vimark, Gunny and Helia introduce themselves. The group tell them of the egg, something which divides the two of them. Leosin wishes it destroyed, but Lord Froom wants to keep it, buried safe in the vaults for now, until the council come decide what to do with it. Lord Froom waits for the party to finish their tale before he stands and begins telling them of himself. He tells the group he is a leader of an organization called the Order of the Gauntlet. He, along with Leosin, who is the leader of the Harpers, have joined together to seek out what the cult is up to. He tells the party Leosin has been spying on them for many months and even let himself get captured to find out more. That's when the group bumbled into the situation. Alistair tells the two of the papers found on the desk of the cleric. something that interests Froome and Leosin immensely. "We shall ponder this new information. Thank you," says Froome, and invites the party to spend the night at the inn as a gesture of goodwill. The group accepts the invitation, and upon leaving the room, Leosin follows them outside and hands them their reward, a bag of 900 gold pieces, and thanks them for their service. Leosin tells them that Froome will take care of any expenses while they stay in the city. If the group needs any supplies, Froome will pick up the bill, as long as it's not exorbitant. The party spends the night at the inn and drinks away the evening. As Eva slips out and checks on the tied-up Gunny, she pokes him as he begins to regain consciousness. Eva explains what he did was foolish. To move the wagon during battle while half the group was using it as cover. Gunny explains he was only following orders, an excuse Eva lets go. "But the stealing," she exclaims, "has to stop. If you do not listen in the future, your life will be forfeit." Gunny agrees to Eva's demands before being untied and his possessions returned to him. The party sleeps soundly in their soft beds, on a full belly for the first time in many moons. All except Alistair, whose groans of ecstasy can be heard 2 rooms away with the barmaid Penny. A restless night for him, it seems. The next morning the group eat breakfast together, minus Gunny, who isn't anywhere to be seen. They discuss what supplies they need before heading out into the city to pick up some wares. Helia and Vimak go their own way, and Helia shops for components for her spells, while Vimak goes to meet up with his fellow guards for a day of drinking and telling stories. Oswald, Alistair and Eva shop together for weapons. Alistair sees a nice axe, but decides not to part with his well-earned gold, while Eva sees a nice well-balanced rapier that she purchases with her own money. Along with a few other items, the group head back to the inn. Gunny sneaks off from the group and does his own thing. He picks up some supplies, bullets mainly, and some more rations, before going to the city's messenger office and sending a raven to Baldur's Gate. Everyone meets up and shares an evening meal together. Afterwards, Leosin calls the party into the back room to discuss the situation further. Leosin begins by thanking the group for what they have done so far, and wishes to hire them for a further mission, one which will need guile and stealth. Leosin says they have deciphered the map found on the cleric's desk, and seems like they have split the loot up into 6 different caravans, one which is marked on the map and is heading north along the trade way. All horses and caravans have to stop in Baldur's Gate if they continue northwards. Leosin tells the party that Baldur's Gate has been built up over the years to blockade the tradeway, so every merchant must sell their horse and wagon at the south gates, ferry them through the streets via couriers, and buy new horses and carts from the north gate to proceed further, which makes the city rich in taxes and in trade. If their calculations are correct, it will take 15 days to travel to Baldur's Gate. The party reassure them it's only been 11 days since the camp was abandoned. In 4 days or less, the caravan will have to pass through Baldur's Gates. Froome informs the group that he has a ship, a fast ship, that can take them along the Chionthar River west to Baldur's Gate, a journey that would only take 2 to 3 days. Leosin tells the party that no one travels along the tradeway north alone, and that it is a dangerous journey. Most join a caravan which leaves every few days for better protection. The party is told that if they join the caravan as guards or travellers, they can follow the cult on their wagons. The Order and the Harpers need to know the final destination of all the stolen loot. That is the mission, to shadow the cult northwards and find out the final destination. They are charged with this mission as observers, not to get involved or draw attention to themselves along the way. All those who are at the camp is asked to change clothes and if possible their appearance, so that they won't be spotted by the cult. The party agrees to the mission and Ava begins to negotiate the price. The journey will take them from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep, some 2 months of travel. Frume offers the group compensation for their time, but says they don't have a lot of money to pay them. Oswald, in exchange for his reward, asks for a magical bow upon arriving in Waterdeep, to which Frume agrees. The rest will be paid 500 gold each, 250 up front and a further 250 upon completion of their mission. Frume and Leosin wish them a safe journey and tells them Captain Roberts is waiting for them at the docks. As the party leaves, Gunny runs off shouting, "I will be with you shortly! I have a pigeon to catch!" The group meet and greet Captain Roberts and his crew of 6 and are shown some quarters below deck. Gunny comes running back a short time later. "Wait for me!" his face forlorn, as they push off from the docks and head down the river to Baldur's Gate.